We're shaking, folks. Back with another reaction, back with some more Savoy at long last. Indeed, shout out to Graham, and to Sophia, and to Shell, and to all the people who've been commenting, including on non-AHA related reactions, while waiting for me to return to regular reactions. I really do appreciate the patience and the support of my channel more generally. As you may be able to hear my voice, I feel like I'm a bit under the weather. I did want to still come back and do reactions, but yeah, I also wanted to acknowledge, that I sound a bit different, or at least as it sounds in my head, which, because of the way our voice vibrates our head, it sounds different to me than it does to you. Whatever. The point is, yeah, I'm not feeling bad at all. I just sound a little bad. In any case, we are going to go back to Mountains of Time, 1999, and the next tune in the playlist, make sure I have this right, yeah, Break It Gently, which, I don't know, I feel like that phrasing I typically hear in relation to breaking news to someone gently, and that would typically mean bad news, not just throwing it right at them. Oh, by the way, people you care about, really bad things happen to them. Okay, bye. Like, saying, okay, like, listen, we gotta sit down because I have something unfortunate to tell you, and it relates to this, and so, you may have to prepare yourself. Like, breaking it to someone gently is to take pains to make sure that the impact of the news is not such that it's, shocking, or it renders them apoplectic, say. Now, there's no full phrase here, it's just break it gently, so it could be something more kinetic, it could be, sort of the contradiction of breaking something but doing it in a gentle way, which would seem to be contradictory or at odds. So I suppose it could go a few different ways, but when I first looked at the title, that was my thought, that sometimes you have to break news to someone gently because you don't want to hurt them too deeply, and if you just rush the information straight to them, it may have this, sort of paralyzing effect. Let's see what Savoy actually has to say about it. This is Savoy, Break It Gently from Mountains of Time, 1999.
Anybody could tell me, baby, but I'll wait. Anybody could tell me, baby, but I'll wait. 'Cause when you say it, you will say it nicely. And when you break it, you will make it gentle. Break it gently. Break it gently. Break it gently. Break it gently. I can tune to the grapevine, baby, but I'll wait.
double time sections as well. And those backing vocals. Yeah, it's cool. I'm not sure still if it's, essentially two renderings of the same concept. The idea of giving someone information that is unpleasant but doing it nicely, or whether it is like more physical, like saying something unpleasant nicely, which is not unlike breaking something gently, where it's like you've caused damage and harm to it, even if you did it in a way that seemed like you were being courteous or polite. So, the idea of breaking something in a gentle way would be a physical, like visual rendering of like, oh, I tell you this thing which actually hurts your feelings, but I did it in a really polite way, so now the way it hit might have been confusing emotionally, because it's like, oh, it seems like, they're kind of going out of their way to not, have it sting too bad, and yet what they said, perhaps is emotionally painful, and maybe that's like their decision. So, it could be someone doing something that is hurtful to you, but like delivering it in a way that somehow makes it feel like polite or nice. So yeah, I don't know if it's operating on two levels, or if it was, two different ways to say the same thing, that you're breaking it to someone gently, like I was thinking in advance. Either way, I did enjoy the sonics of the track. I like, as I said, when it goes into that double time, I like those guitar chords during those sections. Yeah, Lauren sounded good. I like the essence of the phrases in, I guess, I don't know if it was all just kind of one big chorus, or if like the parts before that, or like the pre-chorus maybe, but everything leading into those two main lines, I kept not quite getting everything, and there were a couple different renderings. There was like listening to rumors maybe, but then there was like something else, baby, but, meaning like however, which typically means you're negating or at least complicating the first part of the phrase. It's like, oh, this is the case, but, or however, there are exceptions, or that's not always the case. So I didn't hear like what was on both sides of those but moments, except the one that I heard the clearest was the I'll start listening to rumors maybe. So I don't know quite how that fits in. Either way, a fun tune, a lighter tune, it feels like. Maybe like lyrically perhaps a bit heavier, or at least dichotomous, like, multi-sided, but sonically it was a sort of lighter, fun tune. In those double time moments, it felt maybe a little more like the alternative rock sound of Mary Is Coming, but the other parts felt, more evolved, more like something on Lackluster Me and beyond. So yeah, I guess, as I go through these albums, like I do with all these different groups where I've gone through multiple records, I try not to overlook for patterns. Like humans, we do have a tendency sometimes to try to see connections where they don't actually exist. So I try to make sure I'm not doing that as much as possible. But at the same time, it's like, oh, that kind of reminds me of this album, and oh, this reminds me though of like the sound that they've done since then. So as I go through this album, I am having those thoughts. So yeah, I did want to mention the Aha movie. It's happening sometime this week. Originally I was going to do it tonight. I still may. We'll see. Again, when my voice is a little off, I'll hear it later in a video and it'll annoy me. It's like, oh, I sound so weird. I sound like zombie Shnootz. But yeah, I still may do it tonight. Certainly within the next couple days. So yeah, bottom line, before we get to the end of this coming weekend, we will have the Aha movie presumably up on Patreon first. I don't know, because there's lots of people in the Aha family who, aren't part of Patreon, even though, once again, massive shout out to the people who are. Like, I really do appreciate you, and I'm continually trying to find ways to, provide extra content for folks over there, and I do have some ideas that are coming to fruition. But the point is, given that there's so many people in the Aha family, like here on YouTube, if by some miracle I can get it up in full on YouTube, then I may put them up simultaneously. But yeah, I doubt that will be the case. And if so, it'll probably go to Patreon first, and then I'll put it up on YouTube in parts, or maybe just an intro teaser with a link to the Patreon. So, bottom line, I'll figure it out one way or another. I will do it at some point in the next, I don't know, 72 hours or so, and then we'll be able to watch it after that. So once again, shout out to Graham for sending me the DVD, which I'm looking at right off camera over there. And I'm looking forward to finally seeing the movie and getting more of a immediate, visual like evidence of the emergence of a group which I have come to view with great joy. So yeah, big shout out to Graham and to all the AHA family. Big shout out to AHA. Big shout out to Savoy. Big shout out to Paul. Big shout out to Luca, who seems oblivious of all of my discussions and ramblings. I will see you next time. Peace.